Hey there, brilliant people. So today I've got a very special guest who's going to talk to us about her experiences of intuition and how she works with intuition in her business, which is a wonderful business called Gaia Rhythm Events. So welcome everybody, and I'd like to introduce Angela. This is Angela Grima. So Angela, hi. So would you like to start by telling us a little bit about what you do, like what Gaia Rhythm Events actually is?
Sure. Gaia Rhythm Events, essentially, I guess it's like an event company. Clients contact us when they have an event and they want something unique, wow factor, entertainment. Our specialty is actually creating shows for the client. So yes, we do the run-of-the-mill, I want a stilt walker, I want a magician, I want an aerial artist, but our specialty is actually writing a show for the client and actually involving their products in some way. So for an example, one year we did a job for Nikita Power Tools' 100-year anniversary, and we ended up putting a show together where we used the power tools as musical instruments, created like a sound bed for us to then build on. But we also had like very accomplished parkour performers. We had a world record breaking fellow who basically cuts apples out of his mouth with a chainsaw. So he broke a record on that night, cutting apples out of his mouth with a Makita chainsaw, and he juggles chainsaws while they're going. So that's just one example of one of the shows we've written for a client. And then of course we do very beautiful ones as well with aerial performers, and it's always got bespoke music that we write especially for that client. So that's a bit about Gaia Rhythm.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So you're working with a lot of creative people, and so a lot of people see this link between creativity and intuition, of course. So we'd love to hear what your idea of intuition is, or what intuition is to you.
Sure. For me, intuition, whether it's a work-related intuition or intuition just for everyday life, is actually about the connection. So recognizing that connection between myself, my environment, and the people that I'm working with. And then, of course, the things that you can't see. So for me, intuition is very much about the stuff in between the lines.
Yeah, well, I've heard it almost describe that in a slightly different way. Like someone I knew years ago used to describe their intuition as almost like hearing the silence between the words. So
exactly.
Yeah, great. So
very much so. Hearing the silence between the words is definitely one way of putting it all. For me, it's like a radio band, the frequencies. It's the bands between the bands, so to speak.
Yeah, well, I'm not very musical, so music I don't get, intuition I do get, but music I don't get. So
from a musical perspective, it's the harmonics.
It is the harmonics, I get that, but more from a physics point of view, I'm afraid, than from a music point of view. So
radio waves, sound waves.
So how do you use intuition in, Gaia Rhythm Events? Like, because, almost like on a practical level, or do you think intuition is a practical thing, or is it more kind of esoteric to you?
It is a part of life. Without intuition, for me, it's like walking through the world with earmuffs on. It's like only hearing part of the conversation. Intuition is very much not just an internal dialogue, but a dialogue that happens between, I think, all living creatures, as humans to our environment, and once again, humans to humans. for me, intuition is such a big part of my job, from two perspectives. One, as a performer, needing to be able to change when it's required. I might be in the middle of a performance, but I'm not feeling that connection with my audience. So do I continue on with what I've practiced with the other performers? Yes and no. I will alter it to find that frequency, I guess, that space in between, the space where then I can actually feel. It's almost like, when you see a clock working, the clockwork and everything, the cogs and so forth are interlocking. There is a point where you actually feel that sense of it's interlocked, and you can feel it, and it's smooth, and you're in the zone. And sometimes it requires relying on your intuition to alter things a little bit to get to that zone. And sometimes that even involves changing my thought process partway through a performance.
There's two things that you're saying there that really kind of gel with my experience. Like, so one is like that last bit that you were saying. I mean, for me, because intuition is so much about alignment, I often describe it as a clunk. It's like something just goes clunk inside, and that's when I know everything's lined up, which is what tells me that, yeah, my intuition is really right on the ball here. Yeah. And the other thing that you said is about, well, it was sort of like walking through the world sort of half deaf or something. Sorry.
Oh yeah, it'd be like going through life with earmuffs on and only hearing part of a sentence, part of a conversation.
Yeah. So, see, to me, intuition is so much about actually having a much richer experience in life. Intuition allows us to have that more expansive, that richer experience. And it seems to me that, that's what you're saying, is that for you, if without your intuition, you would miss out on so much.
Absolutely. And I mean, even as I guess as a multi-instrumentalist, I can even notice the difference between singing and actually playing an instrument, which I see as an extension of myself. When I'm singing, if I'm working intuitively, I will hit whatever note I want. And whether it's a top C or looking at 3 or 4 octaves down and going down into the bottom C's or G's, if I'm working and I've got that clunk has happened, my voice will go anywhere. And sometimes what comes out of my mouth even surprises me. And actually, one of my specialties has been, somebody's putting together some, new television show, and they need something different. And I've been told, I need you to sound like Mother Earth. I need you to sound like this ancient woman from another time. And I think, oh, okay, let me just try and intuitively get into that space. And away we go. Or I need you to sound like, actually, an interesting one where I was asked to record in an African album. Obviously, I'm not African. But
I love the African beat.
No, I was working with other African musicians, but they were all surprised too. And they said, "You're white. How are you sounding like that?" And you're small. You're like 5 foot, and you're tiny. And how are you sounding so big? And I do. I mean, I had a fantastic teacher when I was studying opera, and he used to get me to do things like push my weight against a wall, so I would feel like I was a lot bigger. And then he'd say, "Now I want you to remember what that feeling is. Now I want you to sing with that feeling as well." And there's this kind of like gray area really between intuition and, what is intuition? Just something that we just know and that we've become disconnected from. Sometimes when I'm working on a team building level with, say with our other company, drum beats, I'll use blindfolds to try and get them to work intuition with their intuition, but also I talk to them about magnetic fields, and I'll talk to them about all we're actually doing is recognizing what we can't see and tuning into that magnetic field. And I want you to work together. I want you to play together. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Everyone's got their own individual rhythm here, but there is something that binds us together, and that'll be the beat that actually, that pulse that underlies the music. And then I want you to finish together. And we get these amazing rhythmical conversations going. I think the largest group I've done is around 700 with blindfolds.
Oh.
And it starts as this rumble, and then they lock into this rhythm, and every time it's the same rhythm. It's like this rhythm that's innate to human beings. I've been doing this for about 10 years, the blindfold section of it anyway, and it always fascinates me that they always go to this particular rhythm, but then they finish together. And recently I've been experimenting, because once again, I can feel that clunk when they've actually come in together. And
so just remember, everyone, she's talking about a group of drummers who are blindfolded.
That's right.
And yet they're still somehow or other coordinating.
That's right. And then when I'm saying a group of drummers, these are people who have never drummed together before. It's a corporate team building session.
Yeah, so a group of people who are drumming as opposed to a group of drummers.
Right. That's right. And then what I've been experimenting with is conducting them when they've got the blindfolds on. But you need to be able to feel when they've interlocked together. And they're doing what I'm asking them to do, and they can't actually see me.
Right. So it's
almost
like
like this, and then I was going, "Dears, to bring them softer. Come on, guys, or come on, we need to get a bit faster now." And it's like, because they have also.
So just to be sure, just to be clear, are you saying that when you're conducting them, or are you just using your hand?
No, they just hand motions, and obviously they cannot see me. And they will finish together, and there'll be the odd one who's not quite in sync with everyone else in terms of they're not. When I say in sync, it's more from a magnetic field.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a communal clunk.
That's exactly right. A communal clunk. I'll remember that one. And when they're finished, they are so refreshed, and I always use it at the beginning of the session. Once we've sort of worked through the, icebreaker and everyone's become comfortable with each other, I do that straight away, because it's from there I can create music with them. Before then, I can't create music with them because they haven't gotten into that space. And it's almost like going into a meditation or going into that particular brain space that allows you to become more intuitive.
Well, is it becoming more intuitive, do you think, or just accessing the intuition that they have, but they're not, using it consciously? Because, creative people like yourself, in a way, when, of course, when you're being creative, it is more on that sort of right side of your brain where our intuition is. So maybe, you get to use your intuition every day, but, and you're sharing that with the people that you do the events with, and you're helping them access the same state.
Yes, it's definitely, I'll say accessing your intuition. Yeah, but you can develop it too. So I would say accessing and developing at the same time.
Well, to me, it's like a muscle. The more that you use it, the stronger it gets, and the more you actually, can feel it when you're using it. So it's easier to use. So then you start using it more, and it gets stronger, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has been great chatting, Angela. But before we go, because you do get to use your intuition all the time, and you use it in your business, so it's a very practical, everyday thing for you. I was just wondering if there's a little, tip or trick that you can share with people, so that that might make it easier for them to grow their intuition.
Sure. Take your earmuffs off and start listening. Listen with your entire body. One thing I'll never forget that my wonderful opera teacher taught me. His name is Robert Horn. He's not teaching anymore. But one thing he said was, when you breathe, it's not just from your mouth. You need to breathe with every pore in your body, and you will know when you're breathing properly, because every hair on your body will stick up as you sing and as you exhale with that note. And it's probably one of the biggest lessons that I've been able to take as part of my life, not just when I'm singing, but also just going, am I breathing from every pore today? And am I listening with my entire being? And when I say my being, not just my physical body, but am I listening with my magnetic fields? Because they're there. And one thing I will add to that is that I do a little experiment with the corporate team building, where I have a little ping pong ball, and it's got 2 magnetic plates on either side. It's basically a circuit. And after they've done blindfold drumming, I'll get them to hold hands to create the circuit. And it's a wonderful way of demonstrating what they can't see and just going, there you go. That is our magnetic fields allowing this electricity to be created. But if you let go of hands, it's going to stop. And this is what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm saying listen with your entire body.
I love that. That's a wonderful summary, you know, to listen with your entire body. That is what intuition is, because, you know, to me it is about so much about that connectivity with everything. So well, so thanks, Angela. That's been absolutely wonderful. For everyone, I'm going to put the links both to Gaia Rhythm Events, which is Angela's company, and to the drum beats as well. We'll put those links below, so you can have a bit more of a look at what Angela does if you'd like. And once again, thank you for being here, Angela. And you know, finally getting this technology to work, because you know, doing this while we have to sort of be in our own spaces and everything. So thank you once again, and just like Angela, everyone, until next time, choose to be brilliant.
Hey, I will. Thanks, Catherine.
Thank you.